5 reasons why most hard-working people are poor. I remember growing up in the village and being called lazy by my parents and siblings just because I couldn't do much of physical works. Be hardworking was a good advice those days because most professions of the day like farming and hunting needed physical strength. In today's world, however, most people with physical strength are broke, and there are 5 reasons for that. Number 1. Hardworking people usually depend more on their bones. Because of how our forefathers lived, at the time when physical strength is the most important for war, hunting and farming, they had paid attention to only physical fitness and advised their children to be hardworking, meaning to work physically hard. As the world changes, we no longer need to fight every day for our survival, nor do we need to be hunters or use physical strength for farming. Instead, we need innovations and improvements, and that's what we are willing to pay for. The problem with the people who have much physical strength is that they are likely to believe that they have something very significant, especially if they grew up in an environment where they were praised for hard labor. Because these people think that they have strong bones, they are much likely to pay less attention to their brains, their thinking power. A hard-working person simply believes he can work his way into success. But that's not true. What's the truth? The era of bone is gone. We're in the era of brain. It no longer matters how hard you can work, but how hard you can think. Consider the following. WhatsApp is a mobile application created in 2009 by Brian Acton and Yan Kwom and sold for Facebook in the year 2014 for $19 billion. YouTube was a platform created by Chad Hurley, Steve Chen and Jowd Karyum in the year 2005 and sold for YouTube in 2006 for $1.65 billion. How long or hard can you work to earn $19 billion? How long or hard can you work to save $1.6 billion? Stop depending so much on your physical strength. Start building and depending on your mental strength. The world has changed. It's no longer about bones. It's now about brains. Number 2. Hardworking people sell a very limited resource. I know a man who lived and worked very hard in the United States for 20 years and still remains broke. That's not a big deal, as 78% of American adults live from paycheck to paycheck. But why is this so? This is so because many hardworking people are selling a very limited resource: time. Selling time in exchange for money is the worst financial strategy, and that's what most people do. The rich don't sell their time, they sell value. The difference is this: time is limited, value is not, because it can easily be duplicated. Let me give you some examples. McDonald's was founded on the 15th of April 1955 by Ray Kroc. From that single man and single location, McDonald's was duplicated to 5,669 company-owned locations and 31,230 franchises across the globe. This is only possible because McDonald's is of value, so it's easy to duplicate. Hence, you can make limitless amount of money in the process. Here's another example. Microsoft is a software company, and the meaning of that is the company can create a valuable software and duplicate it into 50 million copies, then make billions of dollars along the line. Look at your iPhones, your clothes and your cars. They are all single creation duplicated in millions. The guys who designed them only worked hard for a period of time and delegate the work of duplication for years and years to come. That's how the rich make money, and this is only possible because the rich sell value, not time. You can't duplicate your time because you can't have 25 hours in a day. So if you are selling your time for money, you can't be rich, no matter how hard you work. What is the way out? If you learn how to solve human problems by creating values through a product or service, then you can duplicate your solutions into millions other copies and make limitless money along the line. Number 3. Hard work prevents you from thinking. Jim Rohn once said, "Work harder on yourself than you work on your job." The problem with working hard is that you'll have no time for self-development, nor will you have much time to think. Henry Ford said, "Thinking is the hardest work there is, and that's why only few people do it." Jobs shouldn't be your hardest work. Self-development and thinking should be. Do I mean you shouldn't work hard? No. I simply mean you should work hard on the right thing. Work hard to improve your mind. Take time for meditation and creative thinking. If you're so busy working a job or business that you have no time to be alone with yourself, think and evaluate your life. You can't be rich no matter how hard you work. I'm sorry. Number 4. Hard work stops you from getting financial education. Robert Kiyosaki said the problem with jobs is that it keeps you from getting rich. The problem with jobs isn't the low pay. If it's just about low pay, there are many jobs that pay you well. The real problem is that you have no time to get financial education. I know a man who rarely have time to sit down with his wife because he's working hard to make more money. The problem about this is that the less you know about money, the poorer you'll be. You are as rich as your financial IQ. You are as rich as how much you know about money. You want more money? Increase your financial IQ. Read or listen to audiobooks about money 30 minutes every day for the next 1 year and tell me what happens to you. Unfortunately, most people are too busy working for money that they can't learn how money works. Number 5. You can't build wealth with 2 hands. Most people have 2 hands. I'm yet to see a man with 10 hands. And that's a problem because with 2 hands and 1 brain, what you can do is very limited. Let me explain. You see, you can never see any rich person who doesn't have tens and hundreds of people working for him. The reason is because you can't be rich with 2 hands and 1 brain. You need hundreds of hands and tens of brains to create wealth. What's the way out? Leverage, leverage. Leverage is what makes the rich rich. You must learn how to use other people's hands, brains, and resource if you want to be rich. Stop depending on your bones. Improve your brain's power instead. Work harder on yourself than you work on your job. Beware of selling time. Sell value instead. You enjoyed this video, didn't you? We would like to give you another interesting video for you to enjoy next. But before then, our team will be very happy if you can like this video and share it with your friends on social media. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss other interesting videos like this. Look at your screen now to see 2 other videos we handpicked for you to enjoy next. We love you.